Hello friends, welcome. Today we are going to be taking a look at the book, The Savvy Ally, a guide for becoming a skilled LGBTQ plus advocate by Jeannie Gainsburg. Let's get started. The Savvy Ally, a guide for becoming a skilled LGBTQ plus advocate by Jeannie Gainsburg. Jeannie Gainsburg is an educational trainer for LGBTQ plus inclusion and effective allyship. She's the former education director at the Out Alliance in Rochester, New York. In January 2019, she was Distinguished Educational and Human Rights Services for her work in promoting LGBTQ plus rights and inclusion. The Savvy Ally is her first book. The Savvy Ally topics include Part 1, Becoming Knowledgeable Allies. Part 2, Building Skills for Having Respectful Conversations. Part 3, Taking Action to Create More Inclusive Spaces. And Part 4, Allying Responsibility. After reading the book, here are some reflection questions you might consider. From Part 1, Becoming Knowledgeable Allies, you could take a look at Chapter 3, Coming Out as LGBTQ+. Here's a question for cisgender straight folks. What might you do to support a coworker that comes out at work? What might you say? What should you avoid saying? And here's a question for LGBTQ+ folks. What are some benefits and possible drawbacks to coming out at work? Part 2, Building Skills for Having Respectful Conversations. You can focus on Chapter 6, Gaydar and Other Problematic Assumptions. List all the myths and stereotypes that you have heard regarding LGBTQ plus communities. You can also list all the myths and stereotypes that you have heard regarding cisgender straight allies. You can also take a look at Chapter 7, Good Talk, the Art of Having Useful Conversations. Think about a time when someone called you out on something you said or did. In other words, you said or did something that someone else found offensive, and they brought it to your attention. Was the interaction effective? What worked, and what didn't work in this interaction? From Part 3, Taking Action to Create More Inclusive Spaces, you can take a look at Chapter 9, Straight Pride Parades and Special Snowflakes, Addressing Common Questions. As you move through your day, ask yourself, how would this situation be different if I were, and then you can fill in the blank with something such as a trans woman of color, a deaf man, a 16-year-old asexual boy, etc. Identify things that you can do with ease that others can't. You could also take a look at Chapter 11, Taking It to the Streets. What ways might you take this work to the next step to be a good ally? Write one I will statement to describe what you will do to create political change, offer financial support to organizations, or celebrate the LGBTQ plus communities. From Section 5, Allying Responsibility, take a look at Chapter 13, Sustainability. Review the section titled Know Your Recipe for Happiness and follow it. What is your recipe for happiness? Write an I will statement that reflects an intention that you plan to do to ensure that you are implementing self-care into your life. You can also write a why statement. Why do you do this work? Reflect on this from time to time, especially when the work gets difficult. Here's an activity idea that you can do after reading the book. From Part 1, Becoming Knowledgeable Allies, in Chapter 4, Orientations, Identities, Behaviors, Oh My, rate where you fall within the diagram of sex, gender, and sexuality. Look at the entire model with all 5 components. For additional resources, I invite you to check out our website at chaptersforchange.com, as well as the SavvyAllyAction.com website. Thank you so much for joining me today as we took a look at the book, The Savvy Ally. I look forward to seeing you soon. Remember to be yourself and to read to learn and learn to change. See you soon, friends. If you don't want to miss any of our upcoming videos, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below as well as the notifications. And you can also visit our website, chaptersforchange.com, for educational resources and to see what we're up to. See you soon.